Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai Bashem, Rahakadash. The Malanas to my apostles, my elders, the great millstone, that doing well. Peace and blessings to the elect. This is Brother Dawadah from Genius Detroit Camp, coming at you with another video through the Spirit and Power. Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai Bashem, Rahakadash. Today I want to do a video on Revelation 22. Alright, particularly verse 5. You know, Lord's will this video will be edifying. Okay. Now we're going to start at verse 1. And the main point that I want to go into is really verse 5. Alright, so I'll try to read it fast. Revelation 22 and 1. And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of the Most High and of the Lamb, which had to be the firmament, which is the ozone layer. Which after the destruction, the firmament is going to be, restored or repaired, So it's going to be pristine, because right now you have holes in the ozone layer, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is going to take care of that, And this earth will be restored back to its proper order, all right, including, the state of the earth. So at one point, the entire earth was known as Eden, which means joy, pleasure, paradise. All right, at one point, that was the entire earth, But underneath this devil, everything has been corrupted, And that's why we need Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai to speedily return. Otherwise, as is written, there will be no flesh left to be saved, So that's something to keep in mind. So let's see. Back to Revelation 20:21, and he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of the Lamb, out of the throne of the Most High and of the Lamb. All right, which once again, that's the firmament, which Esau is messed up. But the Most High wants to fix the firmament. All right. It says, in the midst of the street of it, and of either side of the river, there was a tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits, and yielded her fruit every month, and the leaves of the tree were of the healing of the nations. So this verse is dealing with the zodiac, as they so call it, which will get the proper understanding of all that in the kingdom. You got, primarily the so-called black women, chiefly, but primarily women in general, but beginning with the so-called black woman. They love going into that zodiac madness, which we don't have the proper understanding of that. We'll know all that in the kingdom. But you have these individuals, especially the women, they get all up into that, right? And it leads to even more confusion, So that's what that verse is dealing with. Verse 3. And there shall be no more curse. Yeah, no more curses on the nation of Israel. Because pursuant to Deuteronomy 34 and 7, the curses will be heaped upon our enemies. It says, what's that, 34? Let's see. It's 30 and 7? Yeah. Deuteronomy 30 and 7. And Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies, who are our enemies. These are the nations. Psalm 82. And on them that hate thee, who are them that hate us? These are the nations. Psalms 82. Which persecuted thee. Right. Now let's go back to Revelation 22 and verse 3 now. And there shall be no more curse. Why? Because those curses will be taken off of the Israelites and be put upon the heathen, beginning with Esau Edom, which is the so-called white man. All right. The throne of the Most High and of the Lamb shall be in it, and his servants shall serve him. So this is dealing with the kingdom of heaven. So in the kingdom, we're going to be good. There ain't going to be no more curses on the nation of Israel and the kingdom. Verse 4. And they shall see his face, and his name shall be in their foreheads. And that shows you, and what's his name? Yahweh and his son's name is Yahweh Shai. Okay? That's the names that'll be in our foreheads. Okay? It says, and here's the point, and there shall be no night there, and they need no candle, neither light of the sun, for the Lord Yahweh Baal Shem Yahweh Shai power giveth them light, and they shall reign forever and ever. Now, what's that talking about? Does that mean the sun is going to disappear and the moon is going to disappear? No. Because the sun and the moon, all right, the stars, all right, the planets, the Heavenly Father set them up in their order, and they're going to remain in their order. All right, the Lord is not going to do away with the sun and do away with the moon. Okay, there's plenty of precepts on that. And I was doing some reading today. Check this out. Doing some reading in Genesis. Okay, I started Genesis 8, and this is after the Heavenly Father brought about the flood. Okay, Genesis 8 and 18. The point is in 22. And Noah went forth, and his sons and his wife and his sons' wives with him, every beast, every creeping thing, and every fowl, and whatsoever creepeth upon the earth, after their kind, went forth out of the ark. And Noah builded an altar unto Yahweh Baal Shem Yahweh Shai, and took of every clean beast and every clean fowl, and offered burnt offerings on the altar. Now, this is the book of Genesis. This is before the book of Deuteronomy was written, all right? Or the events of Israel receiving the law was written. Okay? Because remember, it was Moses, all right, through the inspiration of Yahweh Baal Shem Yahweh Shai, that wrote the first 5 books, which is why they call them the first 5 books of Moses. So look, so the point being that, how did he know what animals were clean and what animals were unclean? Well, because they did have the law then. It was oral at that point. It wasn't yet written as it was during the events of Deuteronomy. And Noah built an altar to Yahweh Baal Shem Yahweh Shai, and took of every clean beast and every clean fowl, and of every clean fowl, an offering, and offered burnt offerings on the altar. Yahweh Baal Shem Yahweh Shai smelled a sweet savor. And Yahweh Baal Shem Yahweh Shai said in his heart, meaning in his mind, I will not again curse the ground any more for man's sake, for the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite any more everything living as I have done. Here's the point. While the earth remaineth, which we're still on this planet Earth, right? As it is written, the earth abideth forever. Okay, so the earth is always going to be here. Likewise is the sun, the moon, and the stars. While the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat. So there's times when it's cold, there's times when it's hot. Right? You have the concept of cold, you have the concept of heat. Right? You still got that. You have the seed time, you have the harvest time. And summer and winter. We have summertime, we have wintertime. Right? And day and night shall not cease. You see? So there you go. So day and night is not going to cease. And the Heavenly Father is not a man that he shall lie. Malachi 3 and 6. All right? Neither the Son of Man, how does it go? I'm Yahweh Baal Shem Yahweh Shai, change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. Roughly paraphrasing. Malachi 3 and 6. So if the Lord said day and night shall not cease back then, the same applies for now. All right? And the same will apply for eternity, because the Most High don't change. It's lucky. Revelation 22 and 5, and there shall be no night there. Now you may think, well, wait a minute. If he said that there was always going to be day and night, why does it say here that there's going to be no night here for the kingdom? Isn't that a contradiction? No. See, the Heavenly Father, He speaks in parable, all right? Parables and dark sayings. So we automatically know that it's not talking about the sun and the moon, literally, all right? I'll read the verse again. There shall be no night there, and they need no candle, neither light of the sun. For Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, power giveth them light, and they shall reign forever and ever. So it's not talking about literal sun, moon, stars, all right? Or sun and moon in this verse. No. The sun, all right, in this verse represents wisdom, all right? And the night, like it says, and there shall be no night there. That's a metaphor, all right, for the absence of wisdom. Wisdom is likened unto having light. The sun gives what? Light, okay? So having wisdom is likened unto having light, okay? Let's go to Ecclesiastes 5:1. What's that? 5. Let's see. Yeah, Ecclesiastes 8:1. Who is as the wise man? So speaking about a wise man, right? And who would know the interpretation of a thing? A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine, and the boldness of his face shall be changed. You see? So that's a metaphor, all right? For there being no night, that means like in the nighttime you can't see. Why? Because there's no light. In the kingdom of heaven, each and every last Israelite is going to have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Heavenly Father. They're all going to be wise. No Israelite in the kingdom is going to not have wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. All right, we ain't going to see Jake, out here not knowing whom Yahweh Baal Shem Yahushai is. We're not going to see Jake not knowing how to judge certain matters or how to judge matters. No, they're going to be on point from the least of them to the greatest of them. Okay? They're all going to be on point. Okay? So going back. Revelation 22. And 5, and there shall be no night there. Meaning each and every last Israelite is going to have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Heavenly Father. And they need no candle, neither light of the sun, for Yahweh Baal Shem Yahushai power giveth them light, meaning giveth them wisdom. Who is it them? The Israelites. And they shall reign forever and ever. Why? Because wisdom leadeth unto a kingdom. You see? This is the kingdom of Yahweh. Alright? That's what we're patiently waiting for. So that was Genesis 22, verse 1 through 5. All praise, honor, and glories be to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. No lies to my apostles and elders. Peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom.